So you're physically hurt, but you're not thinking of my mental, right?
So she purposely bashed a fellow runner on the back of the skull with her baton, caused a concussion and a measly little possible skull fracture. And she is playing the role of the victim, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here for it. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend. This is where we call out lies, hypocrisy, corruption, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters, because truth conquers, but you'll never conquer anything unless you're strong. Luckily, Ancestral Supplements grass-fed beef liver is here to help us get strong again. It makes your metabolism fast, energy high, and cravings for crap absolutely low. You don't get these nutrients in ordinary meat, and certainly not from vegetables, only grass-fed liver. Get yours at ancestralsupplements.com/JPReacts and use discount code JPReacts for 15% off. Ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing more empowering than playing the role of a victim. Level 1 empowerment for being a victim is you just pretend you're a victim. You imagine something's oppressing you. That's good. Most of woke society has gotten there. It's impressive. Always gets you ahead in life. There's nothing more empowering than playing the role of a disempowered person, especially if it doesn't correlate with reality. Now, victim 3.0, this is where you are the perpetrator. You attacked someone. You literally made a victim out of them, like concussion, skull fracture in this case, little things. And then you play the role of a victim. That is even more empowering. You created a victim. Now you got to play the role of the victim. Otherwise, you're the perpetrator. You're guilty. You can actually go to jail. Playing the role of a victim when you are the attacker. That's what we've got here, ladies and gentlemen. A high school track runner in the 4x200 relay just absolutely walloped the girl who ran past her in the back of the skull. And, you know, it's for good reason. She probably thought, this girl about to pass me, she just passed me. This is probably a guy with his junk tucked between his legs. I don't think it's right. I'm going to show him what's up. Turns out it was definitely a woman that passed her. So she's kind of like, damn, this is not a good look. Let's try to get out of it. But before we get to her really compelling statements about like, yeah, she is physically hurt, but nobody's talking about me and my feelings. I love this performance. Let's take a look at the incident. Just know this girl, she claims it was definitely an accident. Here we go. Ow. One more, whoa. Okay, so the question I have for you, because believe all victims, and this lady who clubbed her, she's the victim, so we gotta believe her. She is saying, this wasn't on purpose, this is an accident. Like, I'm swinging my arms the way I normally do when I run, and every 47th stride, I go like this. That's how you run. That's always how I ran, quite honestly. And you may not be a believer yet, so watch it one more time, and you be the judge. Does this look like that innocent running accident? Okay, 47th strike. Or did it look like she did it on purpose? There we go. One more time. Just be safe. Ooh. I don't know about you, but it's too scary to imagine not believing a victim, so I rate that a definite accident. There was no intent. In fact, I would believe she was purposely trying not to do the exact thing that she definitely did. Therefore, it's an accident. She knows it's an accident, and NAACP is now coming to her rescue. We'll get to that in a second, because she is definitely a victim here. But I think it's important that we hear from the victim, the girl with a skull fracture, concussion. No, it's not the victim here, ladies. That is the perpetrator, because this incident caused by the lady who hit this runner's baton with the back of the skull. That's the real crime here. She's running around erratically like this, trying to hit the hands of her fellow competitors, knock the metal batons out of her hand. That's the perpetrator. So let's hear from the victim who did the swinging, what she has to say. Feels very honest.
I'm just a person by myself. Nobody's going to believe me, because I can
Nobody does believe her, except me.
admit from the video it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions, and I would never hit somebody on purpose.
No. Nobody believes you except This guy. We'll get back to the video in just a second, but first, as you probably know, crypto isn't just for basement-dwelling tech wizards anymore. With people like President Trump getting involved, making his own coin, setting up the first ever crypto reserve for the US government, you know it's time to pay attention. And if you've ever thought, well, crypto sounds good, but I don't want to end up living in my car and having my car repossessed, well, I have good news for you. DeFi Cash Flow Systems' 30-day crypto accelerator is all about smart, steady moves. No financial cliff diving involved and no guessing about what's the difference between Bitcoin and Haktua coin. You don't have to figure this out alone. They've got weekly calls, 24/7 chat, and a private community where even your dumbest questions get answered. And this isn't just a, hey, watch some videos and good luck kind of deal. It's a done with you, step-by-step process where they make sure you get it, like setting up your crypto wallet without breaking into a cold sweat. By the end of the accelerator, you'll have your first passive income stream set up so you can literally make money while you're scrolling Twitter and getting angry. And the best part for this crypto accelerator, you don't need to be a genius. If you know how to order a pizza online, you're already overqualified. With this accelerator, you'll have access to real human support. No bots, no please hold nonsense. Just real people making sure you actually succeed. With the biggest financial shift happening right now, you can either get in while the doors open or sit back and let it pass you by. Take the guessing and your cousin's bad advice out of crypto. Join the 30-day crypto accelerator now by going to 30jpreacts.com. It's the easiest way to finally understand and profit from crypto, with a team making sure that you don't get left behind. Join now at 30jpreacts.com. Now back to the video. But she has more to say.
Everybody has feelings. So you're physically hurt.
Yeah, let's stop right there. Yeah, you're physically hurt. It's a head injury. Grow up. Quit hitting my baton with your stupid freaking head. All right, grow up. Yeah, okay, concussion, skull fracture. Well, my feelings are hurt because of what I did to you. I love this.
You're physically hurt, but you're not thinking of my mental, right?
Yeah.
They're going off of one angle. There are a couple times hitting her, my baton
two angles.
Got stuck behind her back like this, and it rolled up her back. I lost my balance, and when I pumped my arms again, she got...
You could see when she lost her balance, she stayed on balance because this is an athlete.
My intentions, and I would never hit somebody on purpose. They're assuming my character, calling me ghetto, racist slurs.
Well, do you see the tears, ladies and gentlemen? And this is clearly the only reason why some people are falsely accusing her of, well, clubbing the other lady, is because they're racist. Complicates matters a little bit because the lady she clubbed is also black. So this is clearly this whole, like, you're not supposed to hit people with metal object, fracture their skulls. It's only because she's black. If she had did this to a white person, it'd be like, this is just black on black stuff. But because she did it to another black person, this is where the racial bias really comes out. It comes out so much that the NAACP has to step in and says, all right, the black lady that clubbed the other black lady in the back of the head, we have to stand up for the victim of this situation. What about the lady that the black lady that got clubbed in the back of the head? Who cares? The lady acting childish, she fell down, didn't finish the race. That looks like a quitter to me. At the NAACP, that is not what we stand for. We stand for effort. We stand for whoever's the biggest victim. And maybe she actually looks a little blacker than the lady who just quit the race and didn't even finish. So this certainly earns the NAACP even more credibility. And here's the NAACP statement they issued. Alaila, who is the victim that we have seen crying and very convincing. Alaila is not an attacker. They wrote that in all caps. All right, so if there's any questions, oh, all caps, that's true. And media headlines that allude towards that in any way is shameful. I agree with it. It's shameful. It's hurtful. Summer of Love all over again. We understand the sensitivity of the circumstances for both athletes and their families involved, but this narrative must not go unaddressed. And the NAACP, I mean, they went above and beyond the call. right there. We understand the sensitivity of the circumstances for both athletes and their family. They didn't need to acknowledge the lady with a concussion. I wish they didn't, but they did because they stand on the moral high ground, rightfully so. They earned it. And they're like, yeah, that lady, the perpetrator of the situation, we understand this is even sensitive for her. Screw you. We stand with this lady. The lady who every 47 steps does this, not an attacker. What would an attack look like in this situation? We haven't got the slightest, but it definitely doesn't look like this. So there was recently an NAACP rally for her, we gotta support this lady going through the hard time here. Maybe she got a rotator cuff tear. If you've ever hit someone in the back of the head as hard as you can with a blunt object, you can actually do damage to your own rotator cuff here. Those kind of injuries and this political persecution she's going through because she's black, other person's black, whatever. This is at the NAACP rally for her. And I don't know if she's laughing or crying. I hope she's laughing because it is a hilarious situation.
We stand with you. That's why we're here. We stand with you. We support you.
Thank y'all for supporting me. Because nobody else wanted to hear my story except for people that know me and people that know I would never do anything like that. I would never harm anybody.
When there's video of you doing the exact thing you did, which is also the thing you would never do, you got my heart.
I'm not a fighter. I'm not even confrontational. I wouldn't even do that on purpose. And I thank y'all for believing in me. And I love y'all.
I believe in her. That was not on purpose, ladies and gentlemen. It's just like the NAACP. You rewind back to, I believe it was 1993, the Rodney King incident in LA, where the police officers, I think it was like 56, whacking them with their batons. That's why the NAACP went to those police officers' side. And it's like, we know you would never look at something with a blunt object in your hand and purposely swing at it, because the NAACP stands on the principle that just swinging an object at someone and their head does not mean you meant to do it. It doesn't even really mean that you did it at all. That's, of course, why in the Rodney King situation, the NAACP says, oh, here's the principle standard. Swinging objects, cool. Police, we're going to stand with them. They definitely weren't the attacker of the situation. And any headline that suggests otherwise is shameful, just like in her case. With that said, let me know what you think about this situation in the comments below. Do you think she looks like a baseball player swinging for grand slams. Do you think she is in fact the true victim of this situation as she tells you? Or do you think she might have done something even remotely wrong that she should be held accountable for, that the NAACP is trying to make sure she's not accountable for? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Until then, you stay free.